My name is Stephanie. My pronouns are she, her, and this is FrallaKnits, which is my Flosstube channel where I talk about most of my crafty endeavors. I want to say welcome back to all of my returning viewers, and a big welcome to a lot of my new subscribers. I'm shocked by the bump that I got after my, well, in my case, it was a whip sorting good time, my last video, where I decided what whips I would keep out and actively work on for the foreseeable future, and the other ones which were put into deep storage, so as to not be so distracting, I suppose. So yeah, I got a big bump in subscribers since then, so welcome. I thought it would be a good time to reintroduce myself. As I said, my name is Stephanie. I am a stitcher, knitter, quilter, spinner sometimes. I used to always spin during the Tour de France, and this year I didn't subscribe to the streaming service that had it on, and so I think because of that, I haven't been spinning during it. What I do a lot of reading, puzzles. I live in Atlantic Canada. I'm currently at my cottage, which is right on the Northumberland Strait, which is that little piece of water between New Brunswick, which is the province I live in, and PEI, which is the province where Anne of Green Gables lives. So during the summer, we spend most of our time out here. It is currently hot and muggy. I feel like my face is melting. It is... let's see, July 16th. I'm hoping to probably get this uploaded tomorrow, the 17th, when I'm in town where I have, internet. So yeah, that's me. I live with my partner and anywhere between 0 and 3 teenagers, depending on, who wants to hang out with us, with no internet, who doesn't feel like talking to me at the time, it's all good. So yeah, welcome. I am so grateful that you're here, and I hope that you enjoy what you see and coming along on my crazy crafting journeys. Today I have, you're very, very lucky, this doesn't usually happen, I have an FFO. I also have whips, both cross stitch and knitting whips. I have one cross stitch new start, and I do have some haul. I'm supposed to be stitching from stash, and I will be doing that most of the time, but when you get to meet a Flosstube designer in the wild, you bend some of the rules. Because it's a bajillion degrees inside, I do have the window open. It's right behind you. You'll probably hear wind, birds. Currently, my dogs are down at the beach with my partner, and fingers crossed they will stay there for the duration of this video. We shall see. So, let's get right into it and get on with my FFO. Here it is. This is What Remains by Blackbird Designs. I stitched it, I'm not entirely sure. This is linen of some sort. I'm not entirely sure of the color. And this is my own conversion. I just kind of pulled random Roxy Flosses that I have and stitched it in here. This is a memorial piece for my partner's dad, who passed away at the beginning of June. And he lived out in Edmonton, and we went out to Edmonton for 2 weeks. Right after actually, I should say, my partner was already out there, and when he passed away, I flew out to be with him, and I brought this project with me. I was trying to find something that I could possibly work on that would, I don't know, signify the event, something. So What Remains is Love sounded perfect, and we are actually flying back out to Edmonton in 2 days for the memorial service, celebration of life, all of that, and I'm going to gift this to my partner's mom. So yeah, I don't usually stitch to a deadline, but when a deadline does exist, I might be able to get stuff done. So I laced this myself. This is just a frame from Michael's, 12 by 12. And yeah, I love it. I'm very proud of it, shall we say? Is that allowed? Am I allowed to boast about how happy I am about this? So yeah, What Remains by Blackbird Designs. And yeah, I'm looking forward to gifting this to my mother-in-law. I hope that she loves it. So, finished, fully finished. Dun, da, da, da. Now to get it to Edmonton in one piece without the glass breaking. All right, on to WIPs. So I spent a lot of my time since my last video working on that. Also working on one of my knits that I will show you. And the rest of the stitching, it's been, you know, some. So I have a few Christmas in July WIPs, and then one WIP that's not here because, again, I'm at the cottage and it's on big scroll rods. Anyways, we'll get on with it and I'll show you as we go. So WIP number 1. Most of my bags are from Stitch Toolbox on Etsy. She is a bag maker from here in Canada. So there he is. There's the bag. What's inside is Oh Christmas Tree by All Through the Night. I am stitching this on, I actually know the fabric for this guy, 28 count fiber on a whim. And it is in a colorway Presenting Lorelei Gilmore, which I believe I got from one of the Black Needle Society Gilmore Girls boxes, I want to say. I am not entirely sure. And I'm stitching it in Roxy Floss in Darkest Sage. So here I am. It's cute. I love it. Yeah, it should be an easy-ish quick finish, hopefully by this year, mayhaps. So that's my Christmas in July WIP number 1. Number 2, I didn't get as much work done on this guy. This is same designer, cute bag. This is Heartstrings Samplery. It must have been the Mistletoe. And this is my horrible black and white. I love all things Heartstrings Samplery and Christmas. I want all of them. I want to stitch all of them. I want to display all of them all of the year. So I'm stitching this on 20 count antique white Aida using Silken Colors. Ooh, that is very red. It's not that. Oh, there. That's a bit better. It's kind of a darker. Silken Colors in the Burgundy. And I only got a small amount of this guy done. But here's where I am now. So yeah, I was just working on this border coming across. Probably only put in, I don't know, a few lengths. It must have B. I need to get the N in there. Otherwise this is going to turn into a summer WIP. I love it. Like I said, I want all the Heartstrings Samplery WIPs, Christmas WIPs. One day I shall have them. All right. And then my third Christmas in July WIP is not super exciting, but I figured I would show it because I did get a little bit of progress and now I am going backwards because that's always fun. So Santa's Big Bouquet by Teresa Kogut. This was a Patreon chart, 2022. And I am stitching it on 14 count Vintage Country Mocha Aida with the called for DMCs. Let's just and there is where I am. So what I have stitched going forward is I just filled in that star. Not super exciting. And now I am going backwards, unpicking 3 rows of the black down here. Once I finished the star, I was trying to figure out where to go, if I wanted to go towards and stitch the Santa. But then I thought, oh, I need to do the bottom of that urn. It would be easier for me to jump off to Santa's boots to get it. So on the, let's see if I can show you this. On the chart, I left myself a little note here. There we go, cover up. Saying, I skipped these 2 rows. Frog? If it takes, you know, if I have the time to write, should I frog this on the pattern? Maybe I should frog it. So yes, I need 2 more rows down here so that the decrease mirrors the increase up here. And frog, question mark? Yes, yes, Stephanie, frog. So I am working to frog that. Like I said, Vintage Country Mocha, 14 count Ada, called for DMC. There is one fancy floss green that I have yet to pull a conversion for. All right, oh my goodness, more drinking, sorry. Melting. Okay, so the last WIP that I worked on was just yesterday. Once I finished framing my FFO, I pulled out this project bag, and in is Living Find Joy by Yasmin's Made with Love. And if you watched my last video, I am trying to use this Find Joy and Simplicity as my stitching going forward. Let's try and not necessarily whip down, although I mean that will happen, but you know, don't start all the things, all of them. So here we are. What did I do? I just put in some more stitches in these flowers. I had to do more ripping on this. Oh my goodness. I stitched the outline for this flower, but I stitched it as a square. Why I didn't look at the pattern or the other flowers while stitching it, I don't know, but I stitched it. I'm like, it doesn't really look right, and it was a square, so I whipped it out and made it into more of a circle-y thing. So this, again, should be quick to finish up, and I want to finish it because I believe this green will be a good green to use as the, it calls for an overdyed green in this, and I figured that was kind of close in with the 2 greens that are already there. So finish this one, throw this floss in that project. Oh, this is on, I want to say 32 count linen Vintage Country Mocha, looks like. And it is my own conversion of Roxy Flosses. Ooh. Let's see, 3 Roxy Floss and those 3. And 2, 3, 4, 5 hand-dyed by Rolanda. Little Canadian content from this Canadian stitcher. All right, so that was it for WIPs. And like I said, I had 1 new start. But it was a planned new start. It was a kit that I had bought before I decided to kind of lay off the purchases. This is for Caroline at Evertote, her hashtag Caroline50 Sal, I believe. And the pattern is by the Artsy Housewife, Weeds and Wildflowers. It's beautiful. The kit came with buttercup Buttercup by Roxy Floss, and all of the Roxy flosses, which are gorgeous. There was a little bit of a snafu in the sizing of the 28 count, and I like big margins, and I cannot lie. So I decided to pull out some fabric from Stash, and I'm going to save the Buttercup for something else because it's delightful. It is yellow. I love yellow. So here's what I'm working on. Whoa. This is 28 count Picture This Plus Haunted. And I think this is spectacular. I love this pattern on a nice dark fabric. it's beautiful. It just gives it a different something. And I am delighted with it. So yeah, I'll be working on this. I can't wait to see it finished. It will be a framed piece to hang and enjoy. So that is that. And that is it for what I worked on cross stitch wise. Let's see. I guess I might as well talk about my cross stitcher in the wild encounter. One more sip. So a couple weekends ago, one of my kids wanted to go to an anime convention, I believe it was, in Fredericton, and wanted to know if he'd get a ride. And I was like, huh, those dates sound vaguely familiar. And I remembered seeing on Instagram that Stitchman Darcy was going to be at a crafter fair that weekend. And so, of course, I was like, sure, I'll take you. And, you know, give myself an excuse to go and meet a fellow New Brunswick stitcher. So that was really cool. I am super awkward in person. I'm quasi awkward on video, so you can imagine. So I showed up and, you know, had a little fangirl moment and bought 4 charts. I don't have them with me because I'm at the cottage, they're at home, but I will insert some pictures of them. So the first one I got was Out on a Limb. And number 2, I got the Religion of Solitude, which was 100% the one chart that I had to walk away with. I love this chart. So I got that one. I also got Let Me Take You Down. It's chart number 3. And then I got a 4th chart, which I am planning to do a secret stitch on. And I believe the person that I am stitching it for watches this channel, so I will not show you what it is. But maybe I'll show you, you know, hopefully later this year an FFO. Maybe in 5 years an FFO. We shall see. But yeah, so that was it for cross stitch goodies. I am doing my best to stitch from stash, and the only other thing I have planned to come in the mail for me is the advent countdown with Roxy Floss, Evertote, and Modern Folk Embroidery that, you know, will be in December. It's already bought and paid for, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Now I will move on to knitting. I have 2 knitting whips with me, and yeah, let's get on to that. So the first one I have to show you is living in this drawstring project bag. Do I know where it's from? Probably. Oh, it's got by P-O-K-D-E-J. I'm not sure. This is old. So who knows? Living in here is my Saint Laurent shawl, which is by, oh, what's the place? It's a store in Espace Tricot, store in Montreal. So here's where I am. It's just a very loose lace. Oh my goodness, the heat is melting my brain. Lace shawl. I'm knitting it in cotton. It's actually, the yarn is made out of upcycled denim. So it's cotton. I generally hate knitting with cotton, but during the summer, it should be nice to wear. And also, if I have grossness on my hands, like sunscreen or, you know, beach, easy to wash. And I don't have to worry about it felting if I have clammy hands. So I have this color, 2 balls of this, and I have 2 balls of, it's like a green, so it would be more in this range here. So knit a ton in this, and then I swap to the green and I knit a ton in that, and then I'm done. So this I've been working on my breaks at work and at my son's soccer. You know, it's just easy to pick up, put down, and small compared to my other WIP, which is, I believe I haven't even shown it on this channel. I started it in that amount of time before my last video where I just kind of disappeared. So I am taking part in the Long Dog Yarn Along, and we're a group of crazy people who are knitting or crocheting a long dog sampler. I am doing Saga, and oh, it looks great on camera. Oh my goodness, you can actually see bunnies. So I'm doing Saga. I'm knitting it out of Briggs & Little Heritage. And actually, before I show you the mass that I have, let me show you the colors I have. So Saga has 5 rows of arches, sorry. This is going to be my constant color throughout. And the arches are going to be in this kind of muted, dusty rainbow. So I'm starting with this blue at the bottom, and that's the biggest arch. The arches get smaller as they go up. And then I have a green, a yellow, kind of a dusty orange, and then pink. I am on my 3rd and 4th balls. So you knit, when you're double knitting, you knit them with 2 balls at once. So I'm always going to be holding the dark blue throughout, and then whatever my contrast is. So this is like my 2nd ball of dark blue, my 2nd of the light blue. And once I finished, you know, the 1st of each balls, I was able to calculate how much yarn I would need. Oh my God, this is going to be like 7 kilograms or something. It's like bigger than my king size bed. So it looks great on camera. Oh my God. So bunnies, and then I'm not sure what kind of animal this is, but there's a bunny underneath them and some hearts. And then, oh, is that like a seahorse maybe? Maybe, I don't know. There's a shepherd, or just a guy with a very fancy cane. Let's see. What else have we got here? This is that like a jackalope? It looks bunny but antlered and kind of wants to kill the bunny in front of him. I'm not sure. Assorted somethings. Another fine gentleman. And oh, here we go. I think, is this a duck or a goose? Maybe? And then this big fella. I can't even get him in. That's the hippo with a couple of puppies under him. And there's the other side. Oh, and a little birdie. There is some backstitch in this chart. It took me a bit to get started because I didn't know what to do with the backstitch. And I decided in the end, I just deleted it. I just got rid of it. I'm not gonna do any sort of duplicate stitching or back stitching. I just got rid of it. And there were some of the back stitches, you know, it's a few stitches and then backstitch to turn those few stitches into like a butterfly, and I'm just leaving it blank when that happens. Like I think near this bird, there's like a spider that would be hanging down, and I just got rid of it because I wasn't going to put the backstitching in, and it was just going to be some weird blob without it. So double knitting, if you don't know, every stitch, so every square that you would cross stitch, you stitch in, for example, this hippo on this side is in dark blue, and then on this side, ooh, it's in the reverse, it's in light blue. And it is a mirror image on the back. So there is some text in this pattern, and if I were to just knit it as charted, it would read, you know, correctly on one side and it would be the mirror image on the other. But because I am extra, you are able to knit it so that it reads correctly on this side and on this side. It just takes a little more brain power, and the writing is way at the top, so I thought, I got lots of time. However, in the next few rows, I will be coming to where I put my initials into the pattern. So I, you know, we'll get like a bite-sized chunk of testing my charting to get it so that my initials read properly on both sides. So yeah, that is most of what I've worked on. I stitched for a whole day on Olivia, the Forest Witch, which is a Bella Filipina that I am stitching along with Elizabeth of Savory Sewing. And I stitched for a whole day on it, and the coverage just looked different. I think I hadn't stitched on it for a couple of months, and so I was going along and I thought maybe just my tension is different or whatever, but you won't notice. When I came back to it the next day, I went to go and pull a color, and I noticed on my thread card there were only 3 strands of the color that I pulled, and usually it would be, you know, there'd be 2, 4, 6. And I thought, that's weird. And then it dawned on me that I was actually supposed to be stitching 3 over 2 on 28, which I usually on 28 count, I'll just stitch 2 over 2 anyways, because I don't need that super full coverage. I don't mind if it looks a little, you know, more primitive, I guess. But in this case, I guess I thought that I was going to try the 3 over 2 and left no notes for myself. So I spent the next day taking out all of the stitches that I put in, and now I've since put them back in and some extra. I will show you maybe after we get back from Edmonton on this trip. I'll end up bringing that project out to the cottage to work on, because I'm planning on spending most of my time here, so might as well have that here, since I kind of said that I would be getting it done for my birthday, because I have a birthday start planned, and my birthday was a month ago yesterday, so I have just under a month to finish it. We'll see. I mean, I did manage to get this done. This is not nearly as big as Olivia, but you know, if I set my mind to it, maybe. Yeah, so that's it for me. I am not yet a puddle on the floor, but I think I need to go jump in the ocean. So thanks for joining me. I will see you when I see you, probably around the end of this month, beginning of next. Oh, I will say I will be at the Midsummer Stitch on the weekend. So it is Friday night and Saturday all day. So I'm flying to Edmonton on Thursday. I believe it's also 24 hours of cross stitch this weekend. I'm flying to Edmonton on Thursday. Friday, we do have plans for most of the day into the evening, but I will for sure, once I get to the hotel afterwards, log on and see who's stitching. Saturday is when we have the celebration of life, so I'm not entirely sure what my day will look like on Saturday, but if I'm not celebrating, I will be stitch-braiding. Oh man, heat, take me now. Okay, so I hope to see you there. If not, I hope to see you, well, or hope you see me when I'm back. And yeah, enjoy your summer. Stay cool. I gotta go jump in the ocean. Bye.